effect. That was.
No more room in hell. The dead will walk here.
What's up, horror fiends? It's your boy Ricky Grimes back again, representing Horror Fiend TV. You're watching Three Corners of Horror, the dynamic duo taking center stage tonight. My boy Joe the psychologist. What's up, son?
What's up? What's up? Still recovering from my cruise that I went on, but I'm here because you know what? I went down like bodies when I was on that cruise.
Man, we missed you in the live stream, man. We had a.
I know. I missed you guys. I peeped in for a little bit, but I was still hurting. I'm not gonna lie. I ended up like knocking out. I grabbed my phone. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to sleep right now.
Man, when you on vacation, man, you gotta take that vacation. Just like these Gen Z motherfuckers in this film, we're gonna be talking about. What are we talking about tonight? Bodies. This film was fucking hilarious. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it right now, but let's get the party started. Joe the psychologist. If there's ever a hurricane coming to Florida, call your boy Ricky Grimes. Let's shelter ourselves in your pad. Drink beer, smoke weed, watch horror movies, because that is what's up. What's your initial thoughts on this film, brother?
Well, first of all, that is how I do. If a hurricane is coming, alcohol, water, and any food I can cook on the grill. So I have all that. But as far as the movie, this was the one that was for me. I was actually looking forward to this one. It was one of my anticipated films for the year. And I said all the last ones that have been our anticipated ones, I've let my anticipation fuck it up for me. So I went, you know what? I'm going in low on this one. Yeah. Let me not be so excited, because I bet you if I get too excited. So went in low. I'm like, all right, and fucking loved it. I mean, it's not. So like the one thing, just to like, I guess the elephant out of the room, it's not like a typical slasher that you would think it was going to be.
It's a whodunit in a sense. Yeah.
But I was imagining it being more of a slasher, and it wasn't. But I still liked what I saw. I mean, you still had deaths, but what I was actually watching turned out to be really fucking entertaining.
Yes, entertaining is the key word for it. Like I mentioned, it's not a slasher film. It's more like it's a whodunit in a sense, but it's done in a clever way, and it's just so entertaining. And I knew nothing about this film. You mentioned slasher going in. I did not even have that in my mind. I just saw the title and I saw the poster, that one poster, and I saw, word of mouth going around. And I was like, man, I'm curious as to what this movie is about, because the cast that's on that poster is so like, first of all, like Pete Davidson, no one likes him. I think he's fucking funny. I don't know why.
I'm up and down on him.
The opportunity came for me to watch it. I sat back. I said, fuck it. I ain't got nothing else to do. Let me just sit back and put it on now. So I watched it. And I was like, holy shit, this movie's fucking fun. Like, I'm having a great time watching this. Like, this film does not take itself seriously whatsoever. Let's get that out of the way.
Halfway through, I figured that out.
But what's nice about this film is it has a lot of like intense moments, but always follow with that levity. We mentioned that word before. So it always balances itself out. It's never scary, but it's intense in a few of the scenes where it's, we'll rock it. We'll get back into that. But yeah, my initial thought to the film, man, I watched it. I was like, man, I want to talk about this film. We were not going to review this. I didn't watch it for the Three Corners of Horror. I watched it, like I said. But when I saw it, I know Joe, maybe not JR, but Joe would probably appreciate this more than.
Well, because we didn't mention this yet. It's available on Paramount Plus.
It just dropped. Yep.
So when it showed on Paramount Plus, I texted Rick. I'm like, dude, bodies on Paramount Plus. And so when we're doing our schedule, I'm like, we're putting it in, because I like I said, I wanted to see this one.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know where it was going to drop.
Yeah. I mean, it's about this hurricane that's about to come in, and these group of like, what are they, early 20 somethings? They're all rich narcissists.
Yes.
And they're just gonna party during this hurricane, locked in this fucking mansion where you got to take a golf cart just to get to the pool.
Yep.
That's what it's saying. And you know what else is funny? I went through this entire movie with the character of Greg, the middle-aged guy caught in the middle of all this. I did not know that was Lee Pace.
Lee Pace, yeah.
I
Just
did
as
not
soon as I
know.
saw him, I told Adam, well, first of all, if you never saw Pushing Daisies, that was a really good show, and he was the star of it.
I
He's
did
the
not
pie
see that.
maker.
You know why? My my experience with Lee Pace is the Lord of the Rings and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and
Oh
he's under
no!
heavy makeup in both films.
Oh no! I mean, like these guys. I mean, he's done a lot of movies.
Oh yeah, yeah. Horror is the one genre that has tons of subgenres within it. Comedy is one of them. It's not always my favorite because I don't like mixing the two. To be honest with you, it works sometimes. Beetlejuice, for example. Other times, it takes me out of it. But Shaun of the Dead, another example where it works. It has to be done right. This film, again, I think to me, it does. It don't, like I said prior, it don't take itself seriously, and that's a bonus. So, to you, I'm curious. Like, do you find this to be like horror comedy or just a horror like?
Oh yeah, no, it's
All right,
it,
right, yeah,
because
right.
I sat I when I chuckled, I actually looked at Adam because I'm like, I'm laughing in a horror movie, right? And I'm like, I think this is supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah,
And I loved
100%, 1000%.
Oh yeah, what it's because like the best part was, as you said, it had all these intense moments, and what broke it up was the girls turning on each other, and like you would see that some of the characters started getting backbones they normally wouldn't have in other situations, but they're in this like pressure cooker, and this pressure cooker, just the way they like the little snide comments they make to each other. And Alice,
Hilarious.
the scene with Jordan and Sophie, and they're sitting there, and Alice is like co-signing everything. And she's like, oh yeah, no. Yeah, you kind of really are a bitch. And so in the way she did it, so the way she was my favorite one, just because, like I said, she was the one that seemed to be like always kept her mouth shut, and it showed that she was like Switzerland, but and you can see as it was playing out, but she had some of the best lines, but like literally, before the whole gun
Alice
part.
was great. She was
Oh my god,
hilarious. She was the
yeah, because like I
funniest.
said, she got her backbone, and it's just the two are fighting, and she's like, oh yeah, no, I agree with that too. Like, yeah, that's totally you.
It's funny you say that because the director of this film hired somebody to write the dialogue who is more familiar with how the Gen Z generation how they speak, their verbiage, and this film is full of this. I don't know if it's
Oh, yeah.
making a mockery out of this current generation. This movie is a fucking
Well,
zeitgeist for this current
for
generation.
their
I'm gonna tell you this.
generation. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
tell you
No,
this
I
right
mean,
now, bro.
yeah, like
It's
with like
perfect.
the movies that we discuss for our generation. I mean, Day of the Dead,
Yeah,
Dawn of the Dead. So
these motherfuckers would be like, "What? They like this shit?" But
you can get it, and
it's
like again, having a kid for that generation, it's just like I've been around it, and just watching it play out. But no lie though, if I were stuck in the same situation and that shit like that was going down, I can see myself like finally getting fed up with people, like who are not calm, and me to like kind of telling them off the way that was going on in
yeah.
here.
B played by Maria Bakalova. Yeah, I know you haven't seen it yet, but she plays Cosmo, the dog in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
And I know you know her from
she did Borat.
Borat. She was in. I haven't seen Borat, but I know we talked off screen, off
Actually,
camera.
and if I'm correct, she got a Golden Globe nomination for that role.
She did. She did
Yep.
for a comedy role, bro.
For a comedy role.
Impressive. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So I mean,
Yep.
James Gunn hired her, so that's saying something. But her character, to me, she was our gateway into the lives of all these rich people because she wasn't part of them. They
No.
weren't even. They didn't even know who she was. They didn't know she was gonna go there. They weren't expecting her. So that's our gateway to the lives of these rich narcissists, Generation Z characters, man.
Because
Like,
B was poor. Like she
yes,
said, she
was.
took care of her
Took
mother,
care of her
who
mom.
ended up becoming who had she was borderline. I guess she had borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
So she's been taking care of her.
Yeah.
So she did go to school, but had to drop out to be able to take care
Mm-hmm.
of her. And here's Sophie, rich girl. She should have, but at the same time, I understand. If you really like someone, like, all right, so this is me, and if that's a rich person, them go, oh, so maybe you're only interested in me because I got money.
Yeah, see,
So
exactly. Yeah.
make like you. I want you to like me for me before I let you know.
The
This is where I
characters are
come
so
from.
good because even Pete Davidson's character, David, right? David,
David.
his character, like his parents are fucking loaded, and it comes from old money. As you can tell with his character, they literally airbrush all. Pete Davidson is heavily tattooed. They airbrush all the tattoos off his body, which
I
must have
didn't
took
fucking
forever.
realize that
Yes,
shit.
so because coming from that class, you're not gonna. No one's heavily tattooed. They're
Yeah,
like more traditional. So that's I like the subtle
that was
thinking put
yeah.
into each individual character. One thing I really loved about this film, dude, and you're the end night guy. We always talk about this. Me and you always go into the end night conversations with a twist and stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This twist here, I figured this out immediately, bro.
Did you?
Yes. Oh, all right. All right. I'll be fair. It's not like I said, "Oh, I got it." I said to myself, "Imagine if like there is no killer and this motherfucker just like killed himself somehow." I don't know. I just thought about it because when who was not Alice who fell down the stairs? Who was that? Emma.
Emma.
Emma. When she falls down the stairs, they didn't show who did it. That's when it sparked. Something's going on here. Like, what did you think about that, bro? Give us a twist.
All right.
Enlighten us, brother.
So at first I really was sitting here going, oh man, it's a high tension twist coming.
No, yeah, it wasn't that deep.
I was because I was thinking that because B was so it was making it look like B that I'm like, oh, she's got like this other personality, or something like that. And yeah, when it basically showed you that fucking Pete Davidson was just being,
Mind you, he was filming a TikTok video.
that's what I'm saying.
Because he hated again. The young guy's envious of the older guy. Was funny too, bro. I gotta say it now. They accused Greg from the jump of being the murderer because he was a vet, and they found that bag of like the responsible tools any adult would take with them.
And a
right,
40-year-old,
during the hurricane.
a 40 or 50-year-old would bring with you.
Yes. So
Yeah.
these youngins thought, no, he's got to be the guy, and he's not a vet. He's a
Veterinarian. Yeah.
It's so good.
was
And I love Greg's character, by the way, because he was always the guy that was just wanted to have a good time, but he was more mature than the young motherfuckers. But he wanted to punch David so bad, but he always removed himself from the situation constantly. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, no. When you saw because B wanted to see Sophie's phone, and they're fighting for this, which is like in my head, I'm like.
Instead of fighting over the gun, they fought over the phone.
Right, and she's pointing a gun at her to be like, I just need to see your phone. I'm like, you're not even concerned that maybe she's a killer. You want to check her phone.
You're obsessed with technology. I love it. This film's perfect. Bro.
So when they end up finding out that it's David's phone and they look at the video, and what you always you're the one that knows that you coin it every single time when you see an item. Or they focus on a certain item. That's
Chekhov's gun. That's Chekhov's gun.
All right. So you knew Chekhov's gun that knife was somehow. And then when you see in the video that, he's doing a TikTok and he's with the knife swinging it. And I'm in my head going, I would probably do the same stupid shit.
He was drunk.
I can see that. I know. I'm like, I could totally see me doing something that stupid. But yeah, then and I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
So they all turned on each other.
From the jump. The who done it was never who done. There was never a killer.
No.
This idiot who was jealous of Greg killed himself. And that sparked the whole fucking film, dude. That's brilliant.
It is. And I know that I was curious and I looked at some of the reviews on IMDb, just because after I see a movie, I want to see what other people. But then to me, I'm like, you kind of miss the whole point of it.
Yeah.
You miss the absurdity.
It's meant to be absurd.
You miss the absurdity of the whole thing. But again, the one of the beauties of the whole movie was again, a lot of these are newcomers, and there was some of the stuff I saw as far as acting. But if you can do a better job, you would be trying to get the role instead of negatively commenting on IMDb. So
I think everyone did fine.
they did. I mean,
great.
they
think
acted
everyone
like
did.
the way somebody that
Oh,
that age
dude.
does.
Yes, this film was filmed handheld, and all the lighting was pretty much done by the actors themselves. That's why they had the like Alice had the glow sticks, Jordan had the big headlamp that she got from Greg. That was the actual lighting used in the film. So this film, not with the way it was shot and
What
lit,
did it look like?
on top of the dialogue and the performances, there's a lot of improvising in this too. The script was open for that, and with the camera work being so like a third character, this film felt real. Like you're in it. Like you're watching real people acting it out as opposed to
Real
actors.
friends is turning on each
Yes.
other. That's what I
Because they
said.
would do that.
And I sat there in my head going,
Bro,
"Oh my
when they
god!"
started complaining about the group chats and this and that, like that's what these motherfuckers complain about now, man.
I
This
get
one's
so.
brilliant, bro.
I'm one of those that like I'm involved in a couple of group chats, and
Yes.
I don't answer. I mean, so first of all, truthfully, I'll scan through, and if it really doesn't have anything to do with me or anything that I should really chime in on, well, I don't. Other people are already commenting
Yeah,
on it.
no
Well,
point.
I'm a little late on it, so why should I talk about something late? So you guys know why I don't answer you guys sometimes. I do it to them. I literally
Hey,
do. I
bro.
do it to all of
Me and
them.
you are similar. I'm not a phone person at all,
Yeah,
but
I'll scan, and then you'll get a paragraph like answering everything that I just read.
I mean, I recall one time, it was our three corner chat, and all you commented was you were gone for a minute, you were somewhere. You're like, yeah, I'm not reading all that shit. Anything it has to do with me, let me know.
Yep. I'm like,
I'm
because
like,
I came up, like how you hit it and how many you missed. It was like 58. I'm like, I'm not fucking reading 58 messages.
who was your favorite character, by the way, in this?
Alice.
Alice. Mine was Greg, man. I
I
love
like
Greg.
that. I like Greg too, but like I said, I liked Alice just because. Well,
She was funny.
okay, all right. So I liked her after Greg and David were dead. That's when her character
Greg
got
was
better.
sitting there in the fucking they had a basketball court in this mansion, by the way. He's sitting there zoning out. He had headphones on, listening to white noise
in a trance mask,
and then,
or no, a blue light. Sometimes
no,
blue light.
it looked like one of the masks with fucking the purge and shit.
But yeah, like her character, once both Greg and David died, because she was annoying in the beginning. Because remember, she's dating David, right? She was dating David, right?
Yeah.
And then
only for a few weeks, mind you, not too long.
Right.
Same thing
And
with
then
Sophie and
Emma.
B.
Emma, I think
Not
Emma
too long.
Emma also dated David.
Yeah, Emma was David.
Yeah, they pretty much all dated David, I guess, at some point in time.
Oh
But-
yeah, that's Pete Davidson. Who doesn't date that?
But her character was super fucking annoying while both of them were alive. But once both of them were dead, all of a sudden, like, she went from being the, like, party girl, clingy, to like, okay, listen. And there was a couple times that she actually was being her.
Yep.
Like, she was, when she was around the guys, she wasn't being who she actually is. And then once they were around them, like, she showed that she's smart. But yeah, like I said, her lines, when the girls are fighting with each other, her co-signing everything.
Yes,
was so fucking awesome.
And it feels natural because why? Like I mentioned earlier, it's not scripted. They left room for improvising. A lot of ad-libbing was done during this movie, and it's done. They gave these characters free reign. Be yourselves, how you would act, and that's why I mentioned that the cameraman was a third character because he was reacting to all this like improv that was happening in front of him. Brilliant way to shoot this film, man. And the fact that they did it with minimal lighting, again, lighting was usually done by the camera guy and the actual actors, man. So kudos for this, man. I fucking love this film, bro. Did you know that when David punched Greg's character, that was a real punch? Lee Pace told Pete Davidson, punch me for real, punch me. And it wasn't even a script. He wasn't. And bam, that was a real shot, brother.
Well, and it seemed Jordan, her name Jordan. When Jordan slapped B, I'm like, damn, that shit looked real.
She did that. You know why? Because she was jealous of Sophie.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like sitting there. I'm like, yeah. If somebody invites me on the game, I would want to play, but I'm not about to let someone hit me.
I wouldn't do that. No,
that's the only part. Like we're not doing the face.
Look at me, bro. I'm fragile, bro. I didn't want to hit my fucking fall apart. Son.
Well, that's like literally the one the one place not to like touch me or hit me
Don't touch
because
me in the
it
face.
literally I will snap on you. So and then like remember because the game's supposed to be that
Oh.
one person hits you and you hit the other person. My reaction for the one that hits me is I'm gonna hit you back.
And worse, they could hit you so hard that your teeth falls out.
Right. I know we all rate our movies. And I always say that I look at some certain different points to make a movie, give it its own rating. So for me, I actually found a lot of originality in this movie.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Tons.
I'm not Gen Z, but you know what? The Gen Z, the way they all reacted is the same way that the Gen X's we would have all reacted.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we'd be a lot scarier than them.
Yeah.
If you were stuck in a house with a bunch of Gen X's, you're fucked.
The scene when David's talking about gaslighting, how it's not a real word, and congratulations, you got a Twitter account. Like that dialogue was so, it was real. What he was saying made so much sense, man.
But so you know the again the fact that this turned out to be just a satire horror comedy, you know, is another point for me. Love the interactions with the girls. Overall, love the movie. A 4.25.
The fuck is that, brother? I'm about to blow your mind. This movie to me is a 5.
Is it really?
I found nothing wrong with it because this movie's, there's no flaws because well, all right, I'm not saying there's no flaws, but every movie has flaws. But this film was made not to be taken seriously. It's a zeitgeist, man. When the Gen Z people watch this 20 years from now, the way we love our 80s movies, they're gonna look back on this and they're gonna cherish it.
For sure.
And this film was, the cast was great. Lee Pace's character, I don't know what it was because he was the only guy I related because he was our age. Well, he's older than us, probably, right? But
no,
how old is that guy?
Alexa, how old is Lee Pace?
Lee Pace is 44 years old.
Okay, he is our age. Okay, so he is our age. So
yeah.
Okay, there you go.
He would be up, but how they would treat us when we're at a party with them.
Yeah.
When you don't realize you're with people who like to party, and he can show you how to party a lot better.
The movie's not long. It don't overstay its welcome. It doesn't take itself seriously. The characters are all relatable. Even if you don't like them, you know people like that. Even if they're rich, you don't know them personally, but you know people like that.
Yeah.
The characterization.
Well, and it also showed you that even within their own group of friends, some of them they all still had their own dynamics.
Yeah.
Like, and, you know, damn it, Jordan, you know, she can't like her when she was like, oh, your parents are, you know, university professors, like that's for me that's huge, but it just showed you within the own circle that even then you can sit there and knock somebody down, you know, just for the whole little less money part, which is actuality.
And that's that it's a hurricane, it's a natural disaster. They're having a great time. Not at the same time, the less fortunate are not. They're losing their homes, they're losing lives, and these guys got no worries about that because they're in this fucking mansion again. The characters are so well written, and the subtleties.
They had a generator.
Oh yeah,
like,
obviously.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't have a generator when I have a hurricane.
And the last thing I'm gonna say is I found it funny when we thought Greg's character was dead during the bodies, and the fact that, you know, David comes up to him with the fucking cold beer bottle, hits him in the nuts, he gets him.
But it was good to be back. I mean, I missed you guys, like I said.
Yeah, I missed you too, brother.
I know. Every once in a while we all have to take our little trips and vacation. Yeah, but absolutely. You know, I was just like, man, somebody else is manning my live stream now since I'm the one that's been moderating it.
Yeah. Well, Jared did it. He did a great job. We had a great time. So shout out to you, brother. Jared will be back next week, and that's gonna wrap it up for this review of Bodies. In case you haven't figured it out, we love this film because why? It's a fun film. Not everything has to be so meticulous. Not everything has to be over the top gory. If I can have fun, yeah, I'm gonna give a movie a 5 because this movie deserves it. My brother Joe, the psychologist. I'm Ricky Grimes. come back next week
Unless
for
you wanna-
more blood curdling content from your boys at Horror Fiend TV. Be good, stay safe, be well. Most of all, motherfuckers, stay scared.